Hello to viewers, welcome to my channel Science to Technology. In today's show, Camera Tuesday, we're going to talk about photo editing software. So let's dive right into it. Well, first we have to start with the granddaddy of it all, Adobe Photoshop. Now, if you know the name Photoshop, the primary reason of being it's very old, as in like 1990s. Like most of the people did not knew computers in 1990s, and yet Photoshop was created at that point in time. So fundamentally, photo software is the app for photo editing. At this point in time, if people are photo editing, most of the time I'm just photoshopping some things. So it's like it's no longer just a name; it's a verb. So it's a very huge deal. Now almost anything is possible, and the primary reason for that is layering system. It allows you to have multiple layers. Now depending on your skill level, depending on anything, you can do amazing things. Like you can start with something basic like photo editing, or you can go all YOLO and design textures for it. Like this is what this is the primary tool which we utilized in 3D game industry to make textures. So that's the whole point. It's super capable, super amazing, and all that jazz. However, it is super expensive. Now, you may be like, the first instinct may be like, I'm gonna pirate it, but be mindful. Every time you are quote unquote cracking it, you are creating a backdoor in your computer. That's how it works. That's how you disable the DRMs on these things. That's why your antivirus starts screaming the moment you try to install cracks. Problem is, most of the time nothing will happen. But if you are in a position, or if you accidentally reach a position where you have a lot of money, people start to utilize that backdoor. So that's why corporation companies, they generally like, nope, no security risk like that. So fundamentally speaking, many people cannot take that risk. So if you are in that position, this is no go. But if you can afford it, people do buy it. And it is went from like buying a classic model where you buy it, they will give update for a few years, and then you can continue to use that, or like, stop using it, buy new one. That's up to you. So that was the old model. Now they are going into basically subscription model. Now it does work, but problem is subscription model at this point in time is becoming like a free check. It's like, are you actually upgrading the software? It's like, no, but you are paying per month for whatever reason you have to do that. It's like you're not improving anything. There are no primary bug fixes. So there is no big core changes, but you are charging every month. So it's like, for many people, they flat out do not like this idea of basically monthly payment. It does make sense, but it's like, are you actually utilizing that? Because the bugs that were like annoying in like last version or last update is still there. It's like many bug threads are like keep going on, like who cares. It's like, what else you wanna use? So there are some people and some genuine reason why people are getting pissed off from Adobe Photoshop. Then we come to Adobe Lightroom. Now this is the second tool specifically utilized for photographers. Now you have to understand, this is a bit older, as in like not younger, as in 2007. Now this was made for photo development. Now you might be like, what's the difference between editing and developing? Developing, and think of this way, like you are tampering with the photograph characteristics. Basically, how is the hue, how is the saturation, how is the white balance? You are tampering with it. Editing is like you are just going YOLO on it. Like you can remove it and put a spaceship back down there. Or how Neil deGrasse Tyson makes a joke, it's like there is a UFO button in Photoshop now. So that's the whole thing. Like if you are going, if your images goes through here, it is called, it's been developed. It's never classified as editing. It's developed this. But if it goes through Photoshop, you are tampering with it. And like if you submit a photo in court, then like they have to send it through forensics, cyber forensics, in order to figure out how much tampering you have done. So that's the whole point. This is made for development. Now that itself is like, okay, that only makes it lower level, basically Photoshop without layers. So why the heck this is the default editor for photographers? One of the primary reason, photo organizer by tags, catalogs, collections, star ratings, camera, metadata, all that jazz. That's the whole thing. So like the moment you start to do your photography seriously, you will realize you are taking way too many photos, and you will find out like you have a very large collection. Now generally this happens in like 4 or 5 years from once you bought the camera. Then you're like, dude, I have way too many photos, like I have no idea how they are organized. That's why people pay for this kind of software. It's like this puppy organizes it for you, and when you are doing it in small chunks every day, it's no longer a big task. You can be like, okay, today I'm gonna work on this. Oh, this was this wedding. People will like gonna create a tag and directly gonna lay it down on it. So this creates a very good organizer. Now one thing I have to tell you is, like, if your files are not organized, they are almost lost. You could have like 10 copy of that same file. If you can't find it, it's useless for you. So be very mindful. That's why people pay for this kind of software. It's like, just goddamn organize it. Like you could literally be in a scenario, it's like, dude, I took this one photo of this landscape. I know I use this camera. Now if you only have that data and if your files are not organized, if you don't have a tool like this, good luck trying to find it. Now catalog, you can just select 5 cameras, or you can even have a say, hey dude, I use that lens that had very bad chromatic aberration, but I got one photo that was like very artistic. This is the lens. It happens. So people pay for this, like that tag features, that cataloging features. That's the reason for this. And it's also super expensive, because Adobe is like slowly reaching to a point where it's like, dude, please buy everything and we're gonna charge you a lot for it. So it's good, but you get the point. Now we come to the GIMP. Now GIMP is also old. It's actually made before 2000, as in like 1983 or something like that. So the idea was it is an alternative to Photoshop. College student build this puppy. Now benefit of being that old, it has a lot of tutorials. So if you are moving from Photoshop to this, you can just type from Photoshop to GIMP. They're like, this is the tutorial for it. So fundamentally it does have lot of capability. It is not as top tier as Photoshop, simply because Photoshop has like $1 million development unit. They don't have this. This is free and open source. So be mindful, there are many free softwares, but there are very few open source and free software. So this is free and open source. So it does have some limitation, which will, like, some people are like, dude, I'm not gonna touch this. This is amazing, but I'm not gonna touch this simply because does not have CMYK. Or sometimes people are like, but they are slowly improving it, and there's a very good chance by next update they will have CMYK support. And if they have that, there is a very good chance printer shop will simply go to this. It's like people are getting fed up. It's like, dude, I have hundreds of subscription and like my bank balance is like almost zero most of the time. So it when it came out, like, it had destructive image editing, imaging manipulation. So if you manipulate your image, you can't change the intensity of tones and all that jazz. So they're fixing that brick by brick. They're fixing everything, and they have come a long way. Like if you compare this to like very early version, it was like a joke. Now they are like matching the tool profile, brushes and all that. Like flat out, many plugins are directly supported from Photoshop to this. So they are improving, and at a ludicrously dramatic way. And because it's free and open source, you can add, modify this as much as you like. Or heck, you can copy it and clone it if you want to do that, but you have to give them credit. That's the whole point of open source. So it is a very good utility for people who are doing freelancing, simply because many times you're like, hey, I'm pirating it, but here's the, if you have to give it to someone else, they might become liable. If like, dude, you hired a freelancer did Photoshop work for very low price, like per hour prices, very low prices. Are you sure they are using basically genuine software? Because that company would be in court trying to defend that. So many times, even in freelancing industry, people will tell you, dude, utilize either free software or open source software. Do not try to utilize pirate software. Now again, most of the time you can get away with it, but you really don't want to be that one who got caught. So be mindful for many reasons. Some similar to this, people are like, dude, I'm happy with this. And this also runs on Linux. So if you want to do completely free, go YOLO. Then we come to Darktable. Now that's a Photoshop alternative. This is a Lightroom alternative. So inherently it is designed for tags, cataloging. So you can catalog hundreds of images in an organized manner. So that's amazing and useful for photographers. Another aspect, it does have a lot of options. Basically, they looked at Lightroom, is like, we can do you one better. If you're like, dude, I have not seen every single option in Lightroom, this puppy is like, hold my beer. So it has inherently a lot more options with this. Now it does have some limitation. Again, same problem. It's free and open source. It does not have the cash flow or developer flow that is needed to keep these things at peak capacity. So it does have some limitation. It will feel a bit slow, specifically if you are trying to edit 70 or 80 megapixel files. It will feel like it could be a bit better. You have to put a lot more computational power to get it really fast. It will work on very low end computers, but it won't be like GG level smooth, because again, it does take a lot of processing power and coding experts to do that. So it does have some limitation. One limitation which may annoy you, may not annoy you, is like it can only allow you to push exposure to +5 or +3 or -3. So that may be a limitation for you, but for most people that's more than good enough. Now it does have free and open source. It does not mean it's just garbage. This software is one of the best when it comes to image manipulation, and the fact that it can allow you to do color manipulation on a level that is way better than anything else. Like fundamentally, it does have some unique selling point, and if you utilize the bars that it allows you to do, options that it allows you to tamper with, you can get amazing coloring image output for this. Like it has truly good potential. Like if you utilize this tool will no longer be like, okay, I have a garbage tool, that's why my output is garbage. It's not that bad. It's really good. And if you really try to utilize it, people who are utilizing Lightroom, they will have a hard time trying to catching up to you, because it does have some unique things that are like, whoa, 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 that's amazingly unique. So this is also another good option, and open source. So you can go in and add your support if you are capable of doing so. So this was my presentation on basically photo editing softwares for PCs. I hope you liked it, learn from it. In that case, please click the like button, share it amongst your friends. That will help me a lot. If you didn't like it, didn't enjoy it, I urge you to press dislike. Press it twice to show me extra disappointment. Please leave a comment, because I do try to reply to all of them. Subscribe, press the bell icon if you're free, and as always, thanks for watching.